They ain't give me more water, nothing like that, so it might go off the chain next.
So for the audience that don't know what we're talking about, there is an NFL player who is trying to educate us on why the play that was selected on the 1 yard line towards the end zone where Seattle had a grand opportunity to score, while there were 5 reasons why that wasn't a really bad play.
I'm trying to figure out how he come up with 5.
Well, you listening too?
Yeah, because them 2 didn't make no sense.
You ready?
All right, let's go.
Okay.
I don't believe that the Seattle Seahawks thought that the Patriots were going to be able to defend that play the way they did. But the numbers tell you it's a safe play. Mm-hmm. It's the 1 yard line. You could throw it up, and maybe it's a fade route. Or maybe it's if you got into a different personnel, I would like that call even more. But to me, I just think that the safest thing to do, just run the football. Just run the football.
You're not the only one saying that. And consider this season, teams were 6 of 7 on plays trying to score.
Pause that. Now he's saying the safest to run the football?
In his opinion, he said, the safest thing was to run the football. But at the same time, he's letting us know why the pass play wasn't as much of a bad call as people
Had that been a fade route, I'd have understood it. This ball was thrown in the middle of the pack in action area. Yep. Had that been a fade route, okay, yeah, you missed the fade, boom. Because you can always throw it away from the defender. This was thrown right in the middle.
Right.
And I heard him talk about how the Patriots had watched this play. If they watched the play, it wasn't safe.
Why did you run it?
Why'd you run it?
Mm-hmm.
If you know that Patriots watched the play, why'd you run it? I'll give you a story after you finish. Well, I'm gonna give you a story now about teams watching plays. Mm-hmm. When the Cowboys played the Buffalo Bills.
When?
This is the first Super Bowl.
In 92.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Marv Levy was doing an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was on Saturday. So you play on a Sunday. This is on a Saturday.
Right.
Marv Levy's doing an interview. In the background, he sees, in the background, like far back, you see Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas practicing a play that they had never run before. They've never run this play before, but they was practicing the play because they figured the Cowboys, they can get the Cowboys on a particular down.
It was a shotgun shuttle pass, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
And guess what happened? Fumble. James Washington runs it back.
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys was sitting at home, sitting in their hotels, just not really doing anything, watching the Marv Levy interview and watching who are them 2 back there? What play are they practicing? So when they saw the play set up, they knew exactly what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I say all that to say that if you're that good at watching plays, Seattle should have never run that play. Should have never run a play.
True.
Do a fade route.
I agree.
Keep going.
Okay.
He gonna make
against the Patriots defense from the 1 yard line, who would blame them for feeling confident, especially when you see that Russell Wilson, what he saw?
Ephraim, what's number 3?
Number 3 is when Russell Wilson broke the huddle, he came up and he saw exactly what he wanted to see. Ricardo Lockett had an opportunity to make a tremendous play. Lockett is the outside receiver. It's a pick play. Quick slant by Lockett. For all intents and purposes, it should be there. But what happens is Butler makes a phenomenal play. That's 1 in 10, all right? So when you draw this play up, you design it, you got everything you want. Russell Wilson sees his keys. He throws the ball on time. It just took a miraculous play by a player no one had ever heard of before.
That's right. After the game, Pete Carroll said, hey, give the guy credit. Malcolm Butler, he made a great play.
On to number 2.
Stop.
He wasn't in control of...
Stop. Number 1, how could you throw the ball on time if it got intercepted? That means you was late.
He was giving more credit to Butler than Lockett, saying Butler made a 1 of 10. In other words, there were 9 other cornerbacks in the league that wouldn't have done what Butler did.
Boy, yeah, I mean,
that's what he's saying.
That was not.
That's what he's saying.
Where are you getting this from?
I didn't say it. I'm just telling you what he's saying.
Listen. That ball got there right when Butler and Lockwood, they got there at the same time.
Now, the offensive coordinator of the Seahawks kind of threw Lockett on a bus, saying that he should have stepped up to grab the ball instead of allowing Butler to beat him.
Number 1, that should have been your main receiver.
True.
You throwing it to a number 12 receiver. He just got off the practice squad. Throw it to one of your main receivers because they know how to defend the ball. He wasn't even defending the ball.
Right.
He was not defending the ball. All he saw was coming at him. And Butler hit him on the shoulder. to get into the ball. If that had been Dez Bryant, would have never happened.
Oh no.
Would have never happened. So no, you're throwing it to the wrong player.
Now
You got the wrong personnel on the field.
speaking of Dez Bryant, if that was the Cowboys on the 1 yard line and they're passing it, the most likeliest play they would have ran is, you know, when Romo take one step back and he throw to Dez Bryant in the corner off his back shoulder.
Your fade route.
That's an automatic play.
Throw a fade route.
Yep.
Because if he doesn't catch it, then it's going to intercept. I mean, incomplete pass. We come back and do it again. You throwing it in the middle of the field, and you should have seen Butler sitting there. It wasn't like he came out of the stands. He was sitting right there.
Wow.
He was just waiting for that looked like Larry Brown all over again. Neil O'Donnell and Larry Brown
Oh man.
playing catch with each other.
Don't remind me. You ready for number 2?
That was good times though. We
Yeah.
won that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me number 2.
Okay.
Malcolm Butler was Pete Carroll, but what was he in control of?
Well, he was going to be in control of the clock if you do run the football. I mean, if you do throw the football on second down. Remember this. On third down, you'll be able to run the football and keep your timeout. Then if you need be, you can throw it on fourth down as well. So Pete Carroll was in control of the clock by throwing it on second down. That's the reasoning. But what I feel he wasn't in control of was his emotions. Because I go back to 2006 when he was the head coach at USC, another similar situation where a 4th and 2 in a critical situation of that football game versus Texas, national title game, our colleague Matt Leinart here at Fox probably could have threw the football, and if they converted on fourth down, they would have won that game. It's plays like that, calls like that kind of stick into your mind. I think the emotions of that play came back to Pete Carroll.
On to number one.
Time out. Let's
What
see
you think
something.
about number 2?
Pete Carroll is how old again? 60-something years old?
He's 62.
Okay. You telling me, he just told me that Pete Carroll reached way back to his college days and got emotional?
That's what it sounds like.
That he went way. I don't remember my college days. Well, no, I do remember that one night. Take that back. But it was one night, though.
One night.
Ooh, was it a night?
No,
Never mind.
you went there. I ain't go there.
Never mind. Flashbacks.
So what you got to say about number 2 about
Don't tell me I got emotion. It was an emotional call. That had nothing to do with emotion. They had something. I think.
Well, he was talking about also controlling the clock, where he said it was better to pass on second down to keep the timeout and then run the ball on third or fourth down. Fourth down need be.
No, because here's what you just did as a coach. You just said we're not gonna make it. So if we don't make it, I need to have a backup. What you just told your players, or I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. So if it don't work, I need to hold this time out. No, I'm running beast mode. This is game. That's how you put confidence in your players, by saying, hey, this is the last play of the game right here. I'm running beast mode. This is it. He just showed his players he had no confidence in them. None whatsoever. And I still think that he didn't run beast mode, because had he ran beast mode, guess who would have been MVP?
Beast mode.
Exactly. Guess what that means? More money.
Contract.
Exactly. And they ain't a contract year right now. We're going to get back to that conspiracy theory.
You ready for number 1?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This season, 50% of the run plays from the 1 yard line resulted in touchdowns, while 59% of the pass plays resulted in TD. So statistically speaking, you had a better chance to score from the 1 yard line throwing the ball. So you've heard all the facts, guys.
Right.
Is this play as bad as people think? Give it to us straight.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Worst play
Yes.
in Super Bowl history. I just spent the whole hour breaking down on why this wasn't that bad. This was awful. As I'm speaking as an offensive lineman, we get the ball down on the 1 yard line, put the game on my back, on the front 5 guys, give it to beast mode, let us do our job, let us be Super Bowl heroes. I hate the call.
I put it like this. Playing against the Daniel Tomlinson in 2006, when you get that football right around that 5 yard line inside the 5, the crowd would start to say, LT, LT. Yesterday, been beast mode on first down, gets down inside the 5 yard line. The crowd felt it. The energy was there. It was beast. But yet, Pete Carroll, that offensive coordinator, Darrell Bevell, why would you do that? That was the worst call I've ever seen. It just still shocks me today. When your grandma said, "Why didn't they run the ball, baby? Why didn't they run the ball, baby?"
Pause. Is this a fireable offense?
Huh?
Is this fireable?
No.
Why not?
Not in Pete Carroll's case, because he already brought his team to a Super Bowl one other time. If he has never done this up until now, and then he loses a chance to win his first title, I would say it would have been more of a fireable offense. But because of his background with the Seahawks, since he became head coach, I don't think so.
Let me explain it to you this way.
Okay.
Let me explain it to you this way.
Okay.
1 yard line, I lose $300,000 per player. Because that's what they get when they win.
$300,000.
Yeah, $300,000. We talking about the practice squad who gets paid $3,600 a week. This is $300,000. We talking about then the owners get paid from the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the coaches get paid 1 yard, half a yard line, and everybody that are not non-coaches know what you're supposed to do, and you don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go. I got to holler at you, man.
They're not going to fire Pete Carroll.
They ain't going to fire him, but still, though.
If that was Jason Garrett in his last year for his contract, they probably would have fired him.
He wouldn't have got on the plane. They'd have left him in Phoenix. Jerry'd be like, what you doing? No. Your bags are right there. I already had Steven pack them for you. He wouldn't, no. And that's the other thing, too.
Uh-huh.
Had this been in another city, where would this conversation be at? It'd be riots going on.
Chicago.
Right. It's
Miami.
a riot. It's a they probably be too drunk and too doped up to know what happened anyway.
But I think because Carroll have already brought a trophy to the city, that's saving his neck right now. I'm gonna put it to you that way. But if that was any other coach who have, especially teams like Detroit, Jacksonville, who had never smelt the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then you come down to that play, you're one play away from winning your first Super Bowl ever in franchise history. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fireable offense. Yeah. I agree with you on that, but not in Pete Carroll's case. He could have won 2 Super Bowls, and did you see his reaction when the cameras was on him when that pass was intercepted? Intercepted. He literally bent down.
He's like, oh, God, I'm sick.
And he stayed down he had his hands on his knees, bent down with his face going towards the ground, and he sat there for 30 seconds.
I'd have been sick, too. Because it was live TV, that's why he probably didn't throw up.
Did you see Richard Sherman's facial reaction?
Yes.
Like he wanted to cry.
Yeah. I mean, all of them wanted. I'm like, what the heck? And everybody knew where the ball was going. Everybody knew it. Man, I'll say this right here. If you go to Walmart today or Target, wherever they got big screens,
right,
it's gonna be a run on big screens because everybody broke theirs Sunday. If you go up, see, this is where if I'm Radio Shack, I need to put me a store in Seattle. I guarantee you, I'll get out of bankruptcy because everybody at Radio Shack right now buying them a new TV because they threw theirs out the window. Glad they weren't the Cowboys. And what's so crazy about it?
Right.
Cowboys would have beat the Seattle Seahawks, and they would have beat the Green Bay Packers, and I think they would have beat New England Patriots.
The Cowboys would have beaten the Patriots?
Yes. The Patriots didn't show me anything that showed them unstoppable. Nothing whatsoever.
You could see that you could throw and run on the Patriots simultaneously.
You could. They didn't show me anything that just said, "Oh my God, this guy, these boys are just off the chain."
You know, one thing I noticed. I think this year, in my memory, was the most gut-wrenching season of playoffs I've ever seen. This is what I mean.
It was.
The Cowboys, the Packers, and the Seahawks suffered one of the most gut-wrenching plays ever in one season, playoff season.
You can even say Detroit because they picked up the flag.
And that I didn't think about that.
You can say Detroit because they picked up the flag. That was passing.
Every game you seen came down to a gut-wrenching play on the team that had the momentum.
Right, and on the team that created the gut-wrenching play. It started with the Cowboys. So they messed over Detroit, and they picked up the flag, the refs. Mm-hmm. So then Dallas goes to Green Bay. And now the refs mess over Dallas, and they say it's not a catch. So then Green Bay goes to Seattle, and then they had a play against Seattle that